Hello and welcome to EGL Central. I am Brycey and I'm joined by my long-time friend and, associate, person I've known for a little while. It's Callum, better known as TCM Defiant. You're part of, you've been part of several content teams, I believe. So you've seen a lot of Call of Duty over your time.
I'm here just covering for TCM. I do currently work for Top Mid, I've worked for Deserto, Link back in the day, SK Gaming.
Part of the XA team?
Of course, XA, the most prestigious org out of them all.
Oh, it certainly was. I was a member myself for a brief time.
Kind of a member.
Okay, Callum, what do you think of the event so far? I mean, you've been to a lot of events, same as I have. You've travelled all over the world for them. How is EGL11 shaping up?
I think competition-wise, it's been pretty interesting. Like the first day, it was like a bit hit and miss. Like I don't know how to describe it. Like the games, you'd expect these top teams clashing in pool play to produce these really good games, but sometimes the top teams clashing doesn't do that.
It was a weird result actually from the first day. It didn't play out. I mean, a few of the top teams did say pool play didn't really affect us, and I think Epsilon went, we might as well just stayed at home.
Yeah, I saw Catz tweet saying he'd probably just stayed at home.
They played 3 games to regain their old seed, which they kind of were irritated about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was more of a warm-up, I suppose.
Yeah, it was a bit illogical. Like if you're going to have the pool play, for me, you've got to seed the first team further in, and the second, and third, and fourth to make it like.
Because they also went up at the same time at the side of the brackets, I believe, which was kind of sucked.
Like for instance, I've been following TCM. Obviously, it's my job here at this event. So we had Refuse, TEC Enemy, I believe, and Epsilon in our group. So we won our first game in bracket after the pool play, then played Refuse again, and then we played Epsilon again.
Well, TCM looked a bit shaky yesterday. That was not a good TCM run from what I saw and what I heard. But today's been a lot stronger. I mean, it was so narrow against Epsilon earlier on that you could have split it with a very small knife. Yeah,
I think if you actually watched the games yesterday, they were a bit closer than maybe it looked. Especially against Refuse, I felt the CTF was like 50-50. And we actually lost in overtime in both CTFs against Refuse.
So they kind of took Refuse down a lot easier today from what I heard.
Yeah, I think those 50-50s went our way. I think maybe Refuse weren't firing quite on all cylinders today as they were yesterday. Like, for instance, AJ yesterday was a real deciding factor, I felt, in the game, and he just couldn't get going. I do feel like they're a real momentum team. Much like any other team, like TCM themselves, really work well once they get going. But I think Fuse especially really...
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I mean, the TCM team's actually a lot quieter than some TCM teams we have known. But they were very heated for that game. There seemed to be a little bit of a rivalry there, especially between Markey and Amaze. They seem to have some sort of small personal vendetta.
Yeah, it's a bit of just Markey felt that there was some banter, went a bit
past
overboard.
The line.
Yeah, he went a bit overboard, and he let them know. And obviously, if you get how to go at, you're going to reply, which is what AJ did, and it just went backward and forward. It wasn't like, I'm sure there's no like grudges or anything like that. It's just
I'm sure it'll be straight now. You know, the heat of land and that such. Let's talk about the game coming up then, Callum, and it's going to be Epsilon infused winners bracket final.
Yes.
How do you think it's going to play out?
Well, being that Epsilon are the only team, like what you'd consider a top team with a full lineup, you would expect them to go on and probably win this event. They have been pretty clinical in their results so far. Like I said, against us, maybe it was a bit tight, but I mean, you've got to say that this infused game is probably apart from us, going to be their biggest challenge for the tournament. Many people might have picked this game to be to be the final, like the overall final. It still could be, obviously. But I can't see anyone but Epsilon winning this. As much as I think Infuse are a good team, I just don't think they're firing on all cylinders at all.
Yeah, I know what you mean. They had a bit of a shaky start during the day. They struggled against teams you would not expect the Infuse team to actually...
Orbit, they went to final map.
Orbit could have very well gone the other way, and we could be seeing a different team here in the winners bracket final. But I kind of agree with you. Epsilon are certainly the team to beat at this event. Yeah. And you know what? The only thing I do notice is a few of them were quite tired earlier on, but how that's going to play when they actually get in game and get that adrenaline dumping, and I'm not entirely sure.
I think the guys at Epsilon are, they're seasoned land vets. They're used to playing under tired, like being tired and playing under bad conditions. So I think they should be fine. I don't see an issue with tiredness at all. It's generally maybe an excuse that people use when they lose. I just don't see it. I don't see it from Epsilon, to be honest. They've got no reason. So.
Fair enough. Well, I think that is going to be all from me and you, Callum. We are going to go over to Mr. Riddles back at the casting desk, and I believe he's with one of the Spanish